the end of Undifferentiated Studios. So what do? We're a PR firm. We're a social media agency. We're a motion design studio. We're a CG studio. Good luck, you're done. The creative industry is evolving and is doing so in an unprecedented way. Where is it going? We'd all like to know. But before we get there, let's take a look at where we came from. The last 2 decades were exceptional. It was easy to start and run a small, say 5 to 25 people creative firm. Internet was unsaturated, abundant in opportunity. Nearly free capital was plentiful, and so were the marketing and advertising needs. Businesses that were focused around the what were doing pretty well. The what was sufficiently novel to gather some interest, and there were not too many people offering this or that. But these days are over, and I think it's time to grow up. High availability capital is largely gone. Investors, with some exceptions like for the AI hype, are generally careful. The inflation soars, the interest rates are higher, and markets are way more lousy. We're seeing much more uncertainty, and that's definitely reflecting on the marketing spending. If you look at space tech, for example, 2021 was at a crazy high in terms of investments, but the next 2 years followed with a free fall and resulted in the all-time low of over a decade. The outlook ahead is far from rainbows and unicorns. How is space tech relevant to the creative industry? Well, directly it isn't, but it illustrates a broader trend. If you run a creative firm, you know that 2023 was for everyone. Now, you have one more piece of a puzzle to understand why. What also changed across the last few years is availability of affordable and accessible professional education. Around 2018, the internet landscape started undergoing a massive transformation, with a blossom of education platforms, YouTube channels, creators, courses, and private communities. When a COVID pandemic hit in 2020, not only were the masses drawn to consuming that education, but more importantly, so many people joined as educators. And that's exactly why we're seeing today a flood of fresh talent on the market, quite big on quickly acquirable digital skills, but often missing a deeper perspective provided by traditional education. Just look at it. Copywriters, music producers, UX and UI designers, 3D designers, animators, editors, VFX artists, you name it. They keep storming the digital space, pushing their freshly acquired hard skills like never before. And they start their firms. On the surface, it looks great. Democratization fiesta and shiny, punchy visuals to elevate your brand. We've heard that, right? But here's the issue. A few actually. If you look carefully, you can see that the visuals they produce look better than ever. Just look at Behance. The quality of visuals which are displayed over there is like really mind-boggling. But they often lack substance, originality, and depth that's owed to the process of working through real client scenarios. And since the last few years brought the invention of remote work, the process of priming up-and-coming talent through soaking expertise from their senior studio peers kind of evaporated. When they start their firms, it's not centered around the problem-solving expertise, business insight, or market understanding, but the what of hard skills. And that's exactly how the bottom of the market is flooded. I agree that we live in the era of abundance, but my perspective is that abundance of opportunity has been to some extent replaced with abundance of products and services. That takes some processing. So, where is it all going? I think it's going in a very interesting direction. Last year was tough all across the board, but not equally for everyone. The larger and most established firms had to trim the fat, that's true, but being able to secure remaining high-profile contracts, they were relatively fine. I believe this is the only place on the market where horizontal positioning centered on the what may still work for a while. there is still place for the mills, right? But it doesn't mean that there ain't challenges. And while focusing on staying relevant will be of strategic importance, tactically, I think these firms will have to embrace more agile approach to operations. At the bottom of the market, the super small firms either shifted or adapted, fading off the bottom of the barrel. Finally, small to medium creative firms. From what I'm seeing, these guys took the strongest blow. Why? Because as the market shrunk, the scarce high-profile jobs were taken by the best, and the lowered budgets favored good enough and the least expensive. And the last year is not an exception. I think it's the new normal. What other trends are shaping the reality? On the one hand, brands are becoming agency avoiders and tend to build in-house team, while agencies in general are on the fall. On the other hand, the bottom of the market is flooded with solopreneurs and micro firms providing next to everything for next to nothing. And that's exactly why being a motion design firm or a creative studio doing pretty things just won't cut it anymore. To stay afloat and stay relevant, creative studios will have to go past their comfort zones, taking smart decisions and definitely making bolder moves. So what should we do? Whilst there is no magic bullet, let me leave you with 3 directions that I think should help. First, much tighter and more considered market positioning, stepping beyond the creative, and ideally adding a layer of business problem-solving capability. Second, leveraging an understanding of the trends. And I don't mean the creative trends. I mean macro trends in business, media, culture, and entertainment. Seeing where the attention is going and capitalizing on it. And this is interesting because playing field is level here. It doesn't matter if you are an established player or a TikTok native newbie. The chances to foresee the trends and capitalize on that are more or less equal, which is good and bad at the same time, depending on where you are. Thirdly, leading with vision and confidence. This actually flows from the above two, and I think that better understanding plus a better business mindset, once demonstrated, will be attractive to brands big and small, and definitely can result in fostering a deeper relationship with the clients. That's quite a bit to process, I know. Hope this was useful, and till the next one. Thank you for listening to the Future Crafting Thoughtcast, insights into leading, building, and evolving B2B brands in tech and creative sectors, coming at you from Patrick Kisney, the fast thinker, entrepreneur, and advisor to audacious venture founders.